All right, we won the die roll. We'll play first. This is both a tough hand to keep or to mulligan. It's going to be completely reliant on drawing spells, but at the same time we can deal with early things. I think we're going to keep it. I really not a big fan of hands like this, but I'm not a big fan of mulliganing hands like this either that have a removal and an actual creature. Ooh, all right. Well, Trumpeter's a really nice draw because now we can do Artisan and pump up our Trumpeter. Or not. All right, so we're going to attempt to impeccable timing that. Spectre's a good draw, but we want to timing this Rhino and hope our opponent doesn't have a combat trick. All right, got there. That was a pretty important spell resolution there. Okay. Infiltrator. So we could go Artisan, and it can technically block the Infiltrator. Otherwise, we can offer the trade with the Inspector, but I think we're going to play the Artisan. I don't want to trade my Inspector, I don't think, for an Infiltrator. Okay, it's pretty bad news bears for us. All right, maybe I'll just start mull to 5 landers. It's a bummer because, like I said, this format is so unforgiving that even mulligans are just crippling. But clearly, I'm getting crippled here by just any land draws after the opening 5. So I don't know. Just seems like something I'm gonna have to do. But yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about during the drafting, why this format is just so unforgiving, and why basically I'm just not a big fan of it in general, is just because 2 mana, 3 power commons, 3 mana, 4 damage commons. It's just the creatures have gotten too strong, quite frankly. They've just gotten too strong. Like, you have a common 3-drop, 5/4 trampling vehicle. That's outrageously strong. So, Aether Storm Rock, even with 8 mana, I can kill this and I still die, so we won't show it. So, I guess I have to mulligan 5 landers. Like I said, it's a huge bummer to have to do that, but I think this format is just unforgiving enough where it's going to be a necessity. So I could bring in Fragmentize. It deals with the monitor, but that's about it. So we'll probably just stick to the same thing we were doing. And basically, I guess if I see anything more than 4 lands, and it's got to go. Like I said, sad, but I guess that's the way it's got to be. All right, this hand is reliant on the opposite. It's got the opposite problem our last hand did, so this one actually is reliant on drawing lands. I'll trade this. So we can hunt the Infiltrator. I guess we'll do that. While our opponents... It's actually good for a bunch of reasons. We kill Infiltrator, we keep our Chief, our opponent's tapped out, it gets out of Harness Lightning range, gets out of any other 3 damage spell range. And I guess Pioneer at this point probably wants to spit out a 2/2. Saving the energy? Oh, I was going to say, that'd be weird. Okay, this is actually nice. So, you get to swing for 3, play the Pioneer, and leave up Blossoming Defense. So, I guess we'll make it 2/2. So, kind of okay with just blocking here. And then blocking with Servo and using defense. If our opponent has 1 mana up. Alright. It's a bummer, but it's honestly not even a bad trade. So I guess we'll get in there. Okay. So we'll kill the freighter after our opponent gives it haste. Okay, so let's get him for 5. Play the rock. Pass. Okay. So opponent's deck is good. I mean, they're aggressive. They got Fanatic, Artist, Infiltrator, Smash, Freighter. Like, they're very aggressive. We have a lot of early removal, which is nice. And we can put a bunch of bodies on the board, which is also nice. But, yeah, Fragmentize might just be good enough now. Because we're going to have to deal with Freighter. Dealing with Monitor is also just fine. So, yeah, I might just swap out like a module for it. All right. Like, I like module, but I think we don't want to fuss around with it in a match that's like this, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't mind fussing around with it, but I want more removal. I want to be able to deal with those threats. And Impeccable Timing is going to have some issues because our opponent's got built to smash, but we'll have to live with it. All right, so pretty clear mulligan. This one we'll keep. Pioneer, yeah, we can keep that on top. We need a 4th land, but we're staying busy for at least the first couple turns here. So we'll take it. That's a good draw. Wish I could do something about that. So I guess we go Artisan here. So we can block the Rhino this turn. All right. Can't do anything about that. So can't play anything, can't do much of anything here. So we're in some pretty serious trouble already. So we can play Chief to block the Infiltrator. I won't be able to double block the Rhino after this turn. I'm going to be taking 4 damage, which is very excessive. If our opponent has Hunt the Weak, we're pretty much toast, but I'm not left with any options here. I can't play my 4-drops. I can't play Fragmentize. I clearly can't play Edgecrafter. It's either Chief of the Foundry or spit out a 1/1. So I guess we'll go Chief. So Harness Lightning is going to be a problem, but we'll just hope our opponent doesn't have it. Looks like Hunt the Weak. Yep, it's awful, terrible for us. So we'll take a boatload of damage. Miss on the land drop, draw another 4-drop, so it is GG's. We'll play it out, but we have already lost the road to recovery at this point. That is how fast it happens in this format, folks. Which is why I'm just really not a big fan. So, make a 1/1. I guess we can just block the 4 and maybe take 7. If I block both, what does that do for me? I only take 3, I go to 12, I'm left with no board. If I draw a land, I can play the Pioneer as a 3/2 to maybe block the, or maybe split it up so I can block the Infiltrator. So yeah, maybe damage prevention is the smartest at this point. So Fragmentize looked pretty terrible here the whole time, I admit. Would it have been better as an animation module? Yeah, maybe. Alright, we'll concede. We'll see round 2, friends.